back to my channel. I'm gonna be doing a story time for you, and this is the story time about the first time I ever have been in New York City. And the reason I'm doing this now is because there was a lot of drama that happened on the bus. So we wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you know, it's like early. I'm not even a person yet. And the night before, I remember I got 4 things of coffee. I remember I got Doritos. I got basically every snack in the book. I even got Subway. Don't ask why I did this. I was being stupid for all I know. So, you know, we get to my school, and I was at Windsor Knolls. So Windsor Knolls sucks, by the way, and I'll be doing another story time on that. So this is part 1 of this whole story, and this is how this whole thing played out. So we were going to New York City for the Math Museum. Like, we planned this months before, but then we had to reschedule it to then May. And we were gonna go in April, but then that got canceled. So there was a whole storm thing that happened. That'll be in part 3. So it's fun because the bus actually was the worst for multiple reasons. And I'll be doing that in like 5 minutes. So it's funny because we get there, and I was like the first person there. I took a nap in the car for 2 hours, and by the time I wake up, everyone's boarding the bus. So I'm the last person on the bus, but I got front row, which is killer. So we go onto the bus, and it's me and my friend, my aunt, and my friend's mom. So it's funny because when we got onto the bus, it was like, you know, hello, like, here you go, like, all you have is this bag that you carry, like a strap-on bag. And then I had another bag where I had my phone, I had my cash for whatever I wanted to buy, and then I also had, what else did I have? I don't even remember what I had, to be honest. It was like this whole thing. If you hear my fan, that's because I don't want my parents to hear me, and it's like 4 in the morning, so no. So we, you know, are halfway to Delaware, which, time lapse, we're in Delaware right now. Not right now because, you know, quarantine. I'm talking about in the story. So we make it to Delaware, and everyone's knocked out. I was probably the only one awake. So we stop at a rest stop, and I realized I don't have to pee. I have not peed since like the day before. So I don't go to the bathroom the entire ride. Don't know how I made it that long. Don't ask how. It's a long ass story. So we go, and we stop at the rest stop, and I call my mom. I'm like, hey, like, we're halfway to New York. Not even. But I'll call you the next time when I'm in New York. Next time I call you, I'll be in New York City. So I call her. So I hang up the call, and my friend, she goes to the bathroom, and she says, hey, are you coming? I'm like, no, I don't really have to go to the bathroom, but I'll go with you, because we all had to do the buddy system, because it was a big freaking rest stop. I'll just tell you that right now. So we go back on the bus, and we leave. We're the first people there. Another bus, which is bus 4, which bus 4 had a whole thing that happened at the end of the story, which y'all will laugh, because it was funny. And my bus also had like a situation where I'm going to tell you guys that. So it was so funny because we were the last people to leave, and we were the first persons there. So we make it to New York 5 hours later, and I remember I was in this position where my leg was over the armrest, my arm was over the armrest, and so was my head. That's how I slept. I was like a monkey. So it was funny because people kept on laughing at me in the aisle, and it was so weird because I'm like, what the fuck are they laughing at? Like, I don't get it. So, yeah. So, we make it to New York. I wake up, and we're already in New York. We're about to go into the Lincoln Tunnel. So, we get into the Lincoln Tunnel, and it was fine. Like, you know, I'm not scared of the Lincoln Tunnel at all. But I am scared of that curve that you have to go through at the end of the Lincoln Tunnel, which fucking scares the living shit out of me. And I'll tell you why. Number 1, it's a curve, and it's so high up. It's like this far up off the ground, and I'm afraid of heights. And that was like 5 feet off the ground, and I was terrified. So, then it got funny. So our bus half breaks down in the middle of traffic. So by the time we got our bus started, we were already late freaking to get to the N.Y.C museum, because that's where we were going in New York. If you look it up, it's in Manhattan. It's right next to the Empire State Building almost. So we get to the N.Y.C and we left by 5 seconds in because it was stupid. It was like, we were 13 at this time. The kids in there were about 5 and 2, like not even. It was like between 1 and 5 and 2 and 6 and 8. We're 14 and we're like, we walk in, we're like, we did not sign up for this. We're like, we thought that this was gonna be cooler than you made it seem. Like, it wasn't cool at all. And she made it like hype for about a week. It was not even fun. So we left, and you know, you could go to wherever you wanted to go. So we went to Central Park, and we were trying to find where they shot Jessie and where they shot the Jessie playground. We saw where they shot Jessie, and that's funny to me because we looked for about an hour. We gave up, and 2 seconds later, where is it? Right in front of our faces. We actually used like a tracker, and it was like right in front of us. So we look, and we're like, holy moly, and like I started to cry, and like my friend, she started crying too, and we're like, we watched this show when we were little, like we're a mess. So, you know, we leave, and we're like, oh my god, that was fun, but nothing to compare to that. So we go down to the American Girl Well. This is where things got heated. We got yelled at because we were sitting on a sidewalk. That was on a sidewalk. A sidewalk that was on a sidewalk. It was a little mini, like, curb. And then there was a sidewalk. We were on a curb. A curb. So we're sitting there for like not even 2.5 seconds, and my feet were hurting. They were on Fire Girl. That was like the best exercise I got, by the way, because we were gone for like about an hour. So things got funny because I'm gonna skip to when we were leaving. I did not know until we got back from New York that someone gave someone a BJ, a blowjob, in the back of the bus, and I was like, what? Why did someone let that happen? Like, I was pissed. And so then we get home, and it's like 4 in the morning. We realized someone's broke down in New York. and this was on a Sunday. We had school the next day. They got home at 6 and we had school at 7. So thank you all for watching. I know this was like really short, and I usually have very long vlogs, but be warned for somewhere in May, because I have good news. I'm going back to school in May. Everyone's going back to school in May. That's in Maryland. I'm gonna check the tweet, and if it says, yeah, you're going back to school in May, I'll make a video saying probably tomorrow that things about the whole WWE release thing and like the whole quarantine situation, because honey, we need answers. So I love you all. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks you all for supporting me if you're one of my supporters. I love you, and stay tuned for my whole series that's coming up. So I love you all. Bye.